Welcome everybody. This is the KubeVirt community meeting, first meeting of 2021. So it's January 6th, 2021. First note on the agenda, I have added about community maintainership. We brought this up mid-December. Nothing really to report. Just wanted to mention that this is not dropped off our radar. I'm still working on the document. There was some feedback and I will try and wrap that up. I think there was some changes that needed to be made about ownership and a few details here and there. So more to follow on that. But if you have anything to weigh in, please do, because this is a living document that we plan to hopefully adopt if there are no objections. Questions or comments? All right. Are there any other things on the agenda and notes before moving to the open floor this week? And Vasily, your mic is on, by the way.
Sonar Cloud there? Sorry, I didn't manage to open it yet.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that. Do you want to do that, Shaul?
Sure. So I hope that there are no noises in my background because I have the kids here. So, sorry about that.
Just a dance party. We're good.
There's definitely some K-pop.
There's a dance party here.
We can identify the song. Yeah.
Okay. So 1 second, let me leave to another room. 1 second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me share my screen. And for some reason I cannot press on it. Okay, now I'll try to share it again. Okay, great. So I integrated our KubeVirt project with Sonar Cloud, which is a platform that allows code analysis, allowing us to be able to identify bugs, security vulnerabilities, duplication of codes, code smells, and basically it allows us to create a better quality for our code. So the idea, first of all, when we talked about integrating such tool, was to increase the quality of our product. Because when looking at the code, you see there are files that are very, very huge. They have a lot of complexity inside, the ifs, the for loops. You see that this is not well organized. And the idea was to first to be able to identify those areas and then to be able to fix them. And in my previous experience in some other company, we worked with Sonar Cube, which is a very known product for closed source projects and enterprise level repositories. I worked with Bitbucket, and basically every time that we built the project, the Sonar was running the scan, and only if it passed the quality gate as green, then we were able to push the code inside. If something happened and you identified new issues, then the merge will fail and you will not be able to push the code inside. So the developer will need to fix it first and then it can push it. So first of all, we are not blocking anything, so don't be afraid about it. Currently, what we are doing is we are just analyzing it and identifying new issues and where need to be fixed. So we had already 2 bugs and they were fixed by Igor and Roman. And also we have some security hotspots, but these 4, they are only around the test areas because someone inserted a static IP. You can also review it, so you can see it's a DNS, so it identified immediately, which is great. It also shows you how to fix it if you want. And this is same for all the issues. Okay, here, for example, it says user properties in file. Okay, so for code smells, for example, you can see that when looking at the criticality, you also have the severity and you also have the ability to filter according to the rules. So, so most of the issues that we have are something around you have issues that are, you have strings that are duplicated and you need to just extract it to a constant. And there are also cognitive complexities, and like I said before, that there are too many complexity within the function or within the if. So it really helps you to identify it. You can also integrate it with your IntelliJ if you have such, using Sonar Lint plugin that gives you on the fly scan for your coding, and also you also have the technical depth that says actually how much time it should take you in order to fix it. Now, every time that we are merging something, you see it is getting added as a new code, okay, and we see what was added, how much time it should take us to fix it, and the main idea about it is that eventually, in the future, we will want to block PRs from getting merged in case they have new issues or at least issues from the type of blockers or something like that. So this is the Sonar Cloud. It's free for open source projects. It's unlike the Sonar Cube, which costs a lot of money and has its own license policy. And I guess that also Sonar Cloud has its own license policy in case this is not an open source project, but for us it's free. The best thing about it is that we don't need to install it, we don't need to upgrade it, we don't need to take care of it. It's just, it's there for us. Yeah, that's it basically.
Shaul, if we want to have this as, at some point in time as a gating, we need the ability to kind of enable and disable some of the rules, right? Or have some of the rules as just warning and some of the rules as failures. Can we do that?
So one second. So first of all, you saw that I integrated it also with my private account, okay? So you can also do it for your projects as well. And if I will go to the administration for the basic rule, okay, so here in the analysis scope, first of all, I excluded all the generated folders and files. And also here, there is a regular expression to be able to exclude a specific strings that are being found, like if we want to comment a specific rule inside or a specific string, we can mention it here and then it will just skip it. Or if we want to change the quality gate, the quality profile, so we can introduce a new one instead of using the Sonar way, and then say that for Go, we want to use the new one. Okay, so currently I see only the Sonar way, but I guess that there is a way to do that. There is also webhooks. We can connect it with the other tools that we are using in order to get notifications. And that's it basically. So we can change the quality gate type and using the quality profile, but need to explore it a bit. Question is if we really want to change it.
I think I think that you do need the ability, because especially for complexity where you show branches and all of that, that's debatable. You know, everyone has his own view, and we need at least to have some kind of limit, right? What do we consider as complex and what is considered? So we need some kind of ability to kind of intervene in the algorithm, or at least in the limits it apply.
Yeah. So here I found it. So here in the quality profiles, you can create a new one. Okay. And after that, once you are creating it, then you can, let's say I'm going into, where is Go? Okay, so you can go inside, for example, here, and if it's yours and not the Sonar way, which is the default one, you can reduce its severity, and you can even delete it and say that you don't want to scan this type of rule. So you can change the profile if you want, but you need to clone from the original one and then just modify it. Okay, now it's not only for Go, it's also for Java, C++, Python, everything. So whatever you want, you can use it.
So you're saying that we can start with the Sonarway default profile, and maybe just maybe we could just create directly a copy of it, so that we don't always because what I see is maybe that we want to disable some rules at first and later on enable them again, probably so that we can incrementally work on all the failures which we have. I don't know.
Yeah, so what I did in the past was I changed the severity of a rule into a low. Okay, so it will not disappear, but I will know not to handle it right now. And then when I got to the low issues, then I raised it accordingly. So I can still handle them per priority.
Is there a way that you can see whether the rules that we introduced differ from the Sonarway rules, so that we can converge against the original ones once we have fixed all those?
So so currently we didn't introduce a new profile. We are using the default one, okay, which is the Sonarway. 1 second, let me click on it. Okay, so let's say that I'm creating KubeVirt. Okay. So once let me delete it. Here, this one I will copy. Okay, so now I have a new quality gate, okay, which is a copy of Sonarway, and here I can change the values first of all. Okay, as you can see, this one is not editable, and here we can edit it. And same for the quality gates, we can do for quality profile. So 1 second. So you see, we can like this, KubeVirt Sonarway. And I will do it for Go. Oh, sorry. Quality profile already exists. Okay, and here in the project, 1 second, here in the project, I can go to the settings. Sorry, to the quality profile. And here I can now use the KubeVirt way. Okay. And now here I can edit it. Okay, and also activate more, things like that. So it's very simple. Okay. Now, I don't want to take more time than that because it's already 20 minutes from the beginning.
Can you just, without showing, can you just tell if I look at the PR, can we see can I check this specific change, what it introduced or not?
Yes, so you can see here, first of all, you have the ability to go over the branches, okay? And I can see that, for example, this one didn't introduce any issue. This one failed before because it introduced 5. So it doesn't mean that it introduced, it just said that it contained, okay? Because I don't think that it's incremental right now. But, I can look at it. In any case, it's good to see that if someone is still trying to push code that contains issues, then it should say that it's not good.
I think that if you can check if it will support incremental, this will be very good, because
it can.
Because
still investigating it.
Going from the GoSec experience, if we have now a huge amount of existing issues, it will be very hard to use it if I just want to make sure that my new code doesn't introduce new stuff, right?
Yes, so I think that first of all, if you want to know that your code didn't introduce something, then you can just use your own personal repo, okay? Where you are coding everything. And here you can scan it. Okay. Okay, guys, sorry, I don't want to take more time. If there are any questions, please feel free to send me mail about it, or even it's better to send it in the KubeVirt dev mailing list, so everyone will be aware.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the conversation kind of trailed off, so I don't think we have any further questions on that. So next topic would be turning over to Daniel Hiller to talk about Kubernetes 1.20.
Yeah, hey everyone. As you all know, I guess last month Kubernetes 1.20 was released. And we are always a little bit late, but at least the 1.20 lane is available, although it's not triggered automatically on every PR, but you can trigger it manually via the test command, just using the new lane name, as I pointed out in the document already. Yeah, just a heads up, so that is actually available. We already have one issue found with that. It's regarding, it's related to 1. IPv6, and there are a couple of people already working on that. So I don't have a link handy. I can re-provide that later on if you want. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All right. Well, that does it for the agenda. So moving on to the open floor, I'll turn it over to Chris. You wrote that note, right?
I did. I wrote it, and I was flipping apps to unmute. Doesn't auto unmute for some reason. Okay. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give a public notice that user guide, make docs migration. Pull request is getting pretty close to being mergeable. If you want to follow along, I posted the link in the Google Docs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next note, on behalf of PEP, just a reminder, the KubeVirt Summit is coming up. That's on February 9th and 10th. Glancing at the document that or the email thread that we have already started here, I don't see any proposals yet. So I urge you, please get involved, participate, share knowledge, and look forward to that. And next up, turn it over to Daniel to talk about question with memberships.
Yeah, actually, we had a question from someone from the community who just recently, to be honest, I didn't really look into his PRs or something. I just answered or asked him probably when he finds the time that he might attend the community meeting and introduce himself. I'm not sure if this should be, for example, as we already have all those documents, for example, this checklist where we that we give or would give new community members. Should this also be recommended, for example? Yeah, also, can we already give new people who request access to the KubeVirt org those documents that we are working on still, or are these rather previewable but non-public documents?
I have no problem with sharing them. I mean, I was one that scribbled it together. Just a technical note, though, due to the permissions I personally have with file creation, I think they're shared with this list. So you have to be part of the KubeVirt dev list in order to be able to access the documents. So it's not like you could just post it, or you can post a link anywhere, but it's not going to be usable unless somebody's part of the devel list. And personally, I don't have a problem with that, because you shouldn't be a maintainer if you're not also already involved. So I guess that's the technical side. From a policy side, you know, I think that we're trying to come up with a plan, and there's no reason to, you know, yeah, they're not finished yet. Obviously, we need to go back and scrub them and finalize them. But in terms of enacting the process, why delay? Let's. I think that should be something we adopt as soon as possible, just so that we have a formal policy.
Hello, this is Fabian.
Hi.
Hey, Daniel, and Happy New Year to everybody, whoever celebrated it. Daniel, I missed the beginning. Is somebody asking for specific access to documents? Because, no, before I ask or before you answer, in general, all documents should be open, right? There is nothing to hide, and we are an open source project, right? So we can share everything. However, we know there are technical limitations with sharing documents, and sometimes they can only be shared by sharing them with the mailing list, because Google is then, you know, sharing it with all the people involved there. So there's some technical limitation. There should be no, you know, other factor which is preventing anybody from accessing documents. So in other words, as long as somebody's member of the mailing list, they should be able to access all our documents we're creating.
It's not an access to documents. I think the issue was the person wanted the ability to push PRs without the phase of ask to test that you are required to do if you are not part of the. I think that was the issue.
Yeah,
yes,
actually,
It was a GitHub org. It was a GitHub org issue.
Yeah, yeah, you answered already, Chris, right?
Pardon?
Chris, you answered already also on this mail
Yeah,
that we were talking about, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring up the topic myself and saw that Daniel had already done so. So I thought that as a maintainer, I was able to maintain the KubeVirt org and add him, but I'm not. I don't have those powers.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Fabian, it must be up to you. You're the bottleneck.
So what, to be honest, and I think I mean, David is working on like, KubeVirt Summit. And one of the things we should be discussing there is things like this, right? How do we govern this? Because I don't want to be the bottleneck. Nothing is my personal opinion, right? It can be that some emails get lost, but that's like the exception. To me, the whole point is, I think all of this should be able to be manageable through, right? So that if somebody needs to gain some functionality, then he's opening a PR, adding a justification, and if enough maintainers are there and supporting it, it's getting merged and you get that access. All the GitHub-based adding people and adding them to groups, to me it's a PITA, right? Because it's not something that is self-managed, but there needs to be someone doing it, and that's what I dislike. So I would appreciate if we can find a Git-based flow to achieve.
That's what I would also prefer, but the only pain point we have here is, I think, that you have at least, if you want someone in the KubeVirt org, you have to invite him via the GitHub admin page, if I recall correctly. And this is the only thing that I think at least we can't really automate, at least from my knowledge.
On the Kubernetes project, there is a repo called org where this is maintained, and I think there's a bot managing all that. So somebody approves it, and it should be automated, as far as I know.
Yeah, I would expect that as well. I think we could. I mean, maybe there's something already, but I think there's nothing speaking against a text file, which has a similar structure like the code owners, for example, and a bot reading it and watching for changes and then managing the KubeVirt, the GitHub org for us. I think that could work. And if Kevin says there's something, and welcome Kevin, and if there's something already, that would be great. So maybe we can adopt that.
Fabian, would you say that would be a community team task?
Whoever feel, I mean, all hands are always appreciated. If Kevin has prior knowledge and he can help, or if you can help, that would be, I can't do it, but I would be supporting it to do that stuff.
Well, I hate to volunteer us for work when Pep is out on holiday, but I'm happy to take that task on.
Yeah, cool. Please propose it on the mailing list before, because I think that would be like a bigger change to our processes. Like we'll discuss it there and come to an agreement. And please make it a topic on the KubeVirt Summit, because it's really changing a little bit about the governance model and where we want to go to.
Will do.
Thanks.
Chris, did you just volunteer to take over custodianship of the proposed maintainers?
Like I said, I hate to to volunteer our team.
Yeah, I'm joking, but we do need to make sure that whatever we do adopt as a process is actually what we documented.
It definitely feels like a community team problem. So let me. I'm going to confirm that and say yes, we will take it over, and then Pat can smack me down if when he comes back.
Right, great. The more the merrier.
Just so we can have some movement this week and
absolutely
doesn't die on the vine.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it may contradict with the membership document that's under review now. Because if we are talking about becoming a member of the org, that's the first level of the doc, and it speaks about being sponsored by 2 reviewers. And I mean, if we have 2 reviewers that are sponsoring a person that wants to become a member, they might as well just, manage it somehow internally. It's not that somebody new is coming to the project, and they would be lost unless they have this guidance how to propose it. PR somewhere. It's like, it's not that you are totally new before you become a member. You are going through this whole process. So I don't know if this makes it irrelevant, or at least slightly. And maybe I missed the point of the start of the conversation, but you want to make it easier to become a member by posting a PR, right?
No, I think to take a step back, I think the problem is right now, because we don't have any process or any governance for the path to becoming a member, it's just completely opaque. So the effort here is to just create some sort of path so that it can be done. Now, I'll be honest, I plagiarized the entire document from Kubernetes. If you go look, it is very similar to what they have. So if this doesn't work for us, let's take a Sharpie and wreck it. But this was just a starting point as a proposal for a basis of change. And so if we don't like the process that's written down, let's change it. That's the whole point of this discussion.
I'm very much in favor of the document. So that's I wasn't just sure if like the effort that was suggested here with the different repository and PRs, if it contradicts or not. But if it's also based from Kubernetes, then it probably does not contradict. So don't mind me, I guess.
All right. Any other thoughts or comments for today? Okay, well, I think that wraps it up then. Thank you, everybody, and see you next week.
Thank you.